All right, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Listen, you are in for a real treat today because I dug back through my archives and I found some really cool footage of me digging and building the world's most ultimate cooking fire, at least in my humble opinion. And what is this? This is the Dakota fire pit. Now, the Dakota fire pit is really cool because not only does it conceal your fire from visibility, helps reduce the smoke signature, you don't see the light because it's underground, but it also primarily, at least for me, is really great for cooking. So we're gonna check it out and I'm gonna show you how to build the Dakota fire pit or dig the Dakota fire pit in 5 easy steps. All you need is some way to process the wood and a digging implement. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The first move here is collecting wood and tinder, and my preference is dry wood that I can find in the area. Number one, it saves me energy and I don't have to cut down any live trees. You know, if I have to, so be it, but as much as possible, I like to adhere to the leave no trace protocol, both for conservation purposes, obviously, but also for the fact that I like to conceal my tracks. Now, moving on to step 2, which is actually processing the wood, and here, use whatever you prefer. For me, I've used everything from an axe to a bow saw, and I've settled on just a small folder like what you see here with the Silky Pocket Boy. It's lightweight, it eats through wood like a woodchuck on crack. I mean, look at these teeth, it's just ridiculous. And added bonus, it's also 100% quiet. So if I'm not out there trying to take down big trees and build some big shelter, there's really no need for anything but this small folder, and it works great. I don't know about you, but typically what I do is I cut the wood about the length of my forearm. So once I get a fair amount of those cut out and all that wood processed, I break out my knife and I just baton the wood. You know, I split it down the middle into various sizes. I want some large, I want some small, and then, you know, I love those small little slivers, which are great for taking a flame when the fire first starts off. So now for step 3, it's time to pivot away from being a woodchuck to a gopher and dig the hole in that connecting trench. Now, if you don't have a shovel handy, it's all good. It's easy enough to make your own digging implement like what you saw here, which is kind of just a crappy 2-second job, just to put a little tip on the piece of wood that I was digging with. And of course, the added bonus here for me, at least, is that digging here in Florida is just an absolute breeze, especially in this type of soil. Now, after digging the hole and the trench, then the only thing left to do really is to connect the 2 sections, and then that's where you see the magic happen. That hole on the right hand side that you see here has a little bit of angle to it, a little bit of a slope, so it helps to promote airflow into the fire, because without it and just a single hole, the fire would obviously be starved of oxygen and die off with a quickness. So quick recap, we got the wood process, we got the holes dug, everything's ready to go. So that means step number 4, which is prep. And that just is laying the foundation of wood in the hole and then, you know, making the tinder bundle and then hitting it with a big old spark, and it's on. Then the last step, which is honestly the easiest. You've done all the hard work, right? So now it's time to just kick back by the fire, stoke the fire a little bit, show it some love, and make sure that flame is burning real nice, but it's burned down, and, you know, instead of initially when it first flares up, make sure that flame has burned down somewhat, and then you can go ahead and put on your food, and you're good to go. There's 2 more things I want you guys to consider here aside from those 5 steps, and the first one being the fact that your soil conditions in your area may limit you from digging. So if you are in an area with red clay, like what I remember in West Virginia, that may make it more difficult than the sandy conditions that I operate under. And then the other thing to remember is placement of the Dakota fire pit. So you can dig it in one area and you will get a bit of a smoke signal, but if you actually dig it underneath some vegetation, the vegetation is going to break up that smoke as it comes up out of the hole. So that's something else to remember about the Dakota fire pit, but I am done talking. You guys let me know down there in the comments what you think of this, and if you've ever done it before. Thanks a lot for the support, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Show your support for the channel by checking out the wide range of survival gear available at thesurvivaloutpost.com. We stock only top quality, rugged, tactical equipment and apparel designed to support any mission or situation life may throw your way. Any gear you've seen in this video is linked up down there in the pinned post, and be sure to check out the suggested videos for more real-world survival content and training.